Hello, Pawtucket. Happy St. Patrick's Day, and welcome to our 5th episode of Cooking with Our Community. My name is Zach, and I'm the chef manager here in Pawtucket. Today, in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, we have provided you a meal kit to make shepherd's pie. Right here, shepherd's pie. My last name is Shepherd. Is that a coincidence? Maybe. Was I asked to do this today because my last name happens to be Shepherd? Also maybe. Let's get into it. We have here an aluminum bowl that we've provided for you so that way cleanup is a little bit easier. It's going to be easy to make the meal as well. We just wanted to make sure we made it as easy as possible for parents and families so that you can make this without any issues. So there's that. Cheez-Its, a personal favorite. Tater tots, as we used tater tots instead of mashed potatoes. Normally, when you make a shepherd's pie, you'd have mashed potatoes on the top, but instead, we have tater tots. Gravy. Ground beef, which is already pre-cooked, so you won't have to worry about dealing with any raw beef or any raw products at all. So, pre-cooked ground beef, corn, and our handy little slip, which I'm assuming you've already scanned. You can always hang on to it, and then next week, or the next time the video comes out, what you can do is you can always scan it again. It takes you right to our page, and you'll be able to view the latest video. Okay, so we're going to take this and we're going to put it out of the way. And we'd like to show you some of our information on the distance learning sites. So we're going to flash that across the screen now. And then once that is done, then we'll get into it. Welcome back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling our items to make the shepherd's pie. Now what you want to do first is you want to make sure that you preheat your oven, and you want to make sure you preheat it to 350. Give that about 10 minutes or so just to get nice and hot, and then it'll be ready to go for you when you're all set and ready when you're done building. So I'm just going to set that right now. And we are good. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you spray the aluminum pan because you don't want any of that goodness in there to get stuck. So you just spray that. Now you're going to take your ground beef, again, pre-cooked. Just make sure that you have your parent supervision as well while you're doing this. It's very important. We want to make sure that everybody stays safe. So you take your ground beef and you put it right in the aluminum bowl. Now I'm going to take my gravy and spread it over the top. Now the corn goes on top of the ground beef and the gravy. Just get that nice and evenly spread. So you want to make sure everything is nice and even in there so it cooks evenly. If everything is nice and flat and even in the layers, everything will cook nice and evenly, and it'll be it'll come up
hijacking our show?
What's going on here?
What's happening here?
I don't know.
Can't, like a cake. All right, layers like a cake. So you want to make sure everything is nice and flat and even, so that way it cooks evenly. Now your tater tots last. They go right on top. Now you want to make sure that the top layer is nice and crispy. What you can also do is you can take the tater tots, and while you're cooking your other items here in this bowl, on that pan, you can take the tater tots, and even on a piece of aluminum foil, you put those separately and you put them in the oven at the same time. Now you want to take your tater tots out maybe a couple minutes before the rest of this is ready, just so they don't get extra crispy. So I'm going to put those on top of here. Again, nice and even layer. All right. Oh, almost lost some corn there. Okay, so we are ready to go into the oven. Now, you may want to put something underneath this, just in case for the gravy, because the gravy may come up and over the edges. So I have a sheet pan ready to go. So I'm going to put my bowl right on the sheet pan, and it's going to go right into the oven. And we're going to give you a little bit more information. We're going to flash a fun fact across the screen, and we'll see you in a bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this out of the oven, and I'm going to give it a nice little taste test, and we're going to see how it came out. There we go. That looks really nice. Now, again, parent supervision. Now you want to make sure that you're very careful when you take this out of the oven, because it's going to be very hot. Okay? So when you take this out of the oven, you want to just make sure that you have your parent supervision and you have the right tools to take it out of the oven, because it's going to be very hot. An oven mitt is always helpful. A pair of tongs, just so you can kind of control where everything is going. And here we go. Take that off of there. Now this is going to be incredibly hot, so I'm going to put it over here off to the side. And we're going to go for a taste test. All right, let's see how we did. That is a good one. Yeah, that is very good. I'm a fan of shepherd's pie, not just because my last name is Shepherd, but because it's delicious. So we hope you've enjoyed this distance learning meal. And our next guest is Superintendent Dr. Cheryl Nick Williams. We're very excited to have her come. So we'd like to see you on our next episode on 331.